joining you as much as anything. A lot of times campaigns are centered around the individual, and the individual starts it and rallies the troops. But the truth is, the people who are interested in sound government, limited government, the Constitution, are really the organizers. And I just happen to be in a place where I can encourage you and join you and hopefully lead. But the truth is the only way for this to work is grassroots support. It's spontaneous. People are trying now to emulate us, and they have no idea what's going on. Obviously, you know, they have written about the campaign, and they talk about this is different. How do they do this? And it isn't top down. It isn't. It's grassroots up, and it comes up. And the organizations are so spontaneous. And every single day, there's a new organization popping up here and there, and that really encourages me, because that to me means it's a philosophic issue. It's just not a personality. It isn't somebody that just has a famous name. It isn't somebody that has a lot of money and you buy the support. This is so different, and yeah, I think it's so healthy and the kind of thing that we need. But it also tells us that there's a lot of people out there very frustrated, and they're looking for something different. And you know the other thing I've come to, a couple things during the campaign. One, it's attracting a lot of young people. We know that because these are young ideas, and it's really great. And the other thing is I have a lot of people come up to me, and they're not the average Republican. We have a lot of them, but we have independents, we have conservatives, constitutionalists, libertarians, and people who just don't want any part about it. And even a lot of Democrats that consider themselves very liberal, and we come together, and I think the unifying force behind that is the Constitution. This is what's fantastic, is if we follow the Constitution, we bring people together. And yet in Washington, they don't follow the Constitution. It's divisive. They're fighting and complaining because they're using government for special interests. But if you want to use government for allowing people to live free and take upon themselves their own responsibility, actually the Constitution brings people together. So that's why I think there's a lot of force behind what we're doing. And it gives us the enthusiasm, gets people to drive a few miles now and then to come and visit. So all I can say is I am very happy that I am part of what you're doing. Thank you very much. He's been the instigator and talked me into this, along with a lot of you people who have written. And we had to overcome a lot of reluctance on my part, because quite frankly I didn't know how many of you were out there. I didn't know whether there were 10 of us in the remnant, or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 2. And he was convinced there were a lot of people out there and did a lot of persuading, and he's been doing a lot of work. The only shortcoming about our organization is we have been overwhelmed, and that is good because we have a lot of activity. You want to say a word or two, Ken?
Well, and thank you very much for coming. As Dr. Paul has already said, the campaign is growing literally by the day. I will tell you, we will be moving into a new office on July the 15th. Much needed space. Right now we don't have enough space for enough volunteers. It's really sad at the campaign headquarters, which is only 300 square feet of office space, and we have to turn people away. Good news is money's coming in thanks to you. We've got a nice space. We're going to have plenty of room for volunteers. We're going to take it to the next level and keep growing. So as Dr. Paul said, thank you so much, and it really is getting exciting. So thank you.
Sharing her husband with the world.
Yeah! And I have to tell you, truly I was very reluctant. But if you want to know the truth, she was never reluctant. She always encouraged me. She always says, you know, there is a message out there, and if you can help spread that message, you should invest that time. And when I get very tired, guess who I complain to? What am I are you doing? I finally get back on that airplane again. And she always says, yes, you do.
You go, Carol.
No, she's going to say a word.
Well, I was going to tell you, a lot of you have seen the cookbook that we put out for in the congressional campaign. Well, everybody's been saying, come on, how about a presidential cookbook? So if y'all get busy and send me your favorite recipe, maybe we'll work on a new cookbook.
You know, Kent serves as a campaign chairman, but we have a campaign manager that has been with us now for a month or so, but was also very encouraging to be involved more so in this movement. And I'd like to introduce Lou Moore for him to say a couple words.
Hey, Lou, thank you so much for being here. And Josie Hughes is going to be here in a few minutes with some things for some of you to do if you have time. We've got some flyers that we'd like you to hand out. And we're going to be getting the hall ready this afternoon. As you know, we're expecting a lot of folks coming into the hall. But again, I just want to say thank you for your support. We're going to take it all away because of you.
All right, good to see you. We'll see you later in the day.
Thank you.